that's where I left my boots. Encountered two more problems with lowering this loop. One is the exhaust is touching the panel and the space where the kickstart attaches. Obviously now it's hitting, so I'll just drill a new hole there. Hopefully if there's an edging tool, or I'll do that maybe at a later date, just put a nice edge on it. And I'm just going to leave this for now. At some point I might fill that in. Time to fit some foot pegs on the scoop, and I have some bar here, which is 22mm. That seems to be the standard, 22mm for foot pegs and for handlebars. So I need to cut this bar, pretty solid stuff, to the right width, and also fit a foot brake pedal for the rear brake, which has this bracket which you can buy new now. It's not the best quality, to be honest. The welding looks pretty shonky inside there, but I'll tidy that up a bit. Now that basically welds to the frame, so I need to check out the positions it's all going to go in and get that all welded up. I want to try and keep these foot pegs as low as possible, so my feet are sort of closer to the ground. I've got my foot pegs cut to length, and I made some brackets which are going to attach to the scoop. Kind of like that. And I've actually made two sets. So there is a reason, which will be obvious later, but I'm going to have two sets of foot pegs like that. These two sets of foot pegs obviously need to be perfectly square, so I'm going to make up a jig using 50 by 25mm box section, and I'm going to measure it all up accurately and just tack the foot pegs to the brackets before fitting it to the scooter.
Jimmy drinks something out of the old oak tree. He's dancing and singing with all the pretty girls. Yeah, a stranger lost in a foreign town. He's brought alive with his sense of family. Yeah, burn the bridges over Whiskey River.
So here we have the two foot pegs just tacked on. You can see with this jig piece, it's just kept everything square, so they're equal distance apart, etc. But I'm just going to cut these tacks out of this jig and try and get that out of the way. I've got these foot pegs welded on now. I'll tidy up the welds a little bit, but they're super strong. And next thing is to weld on this bracket which welds to the frame and accepts the back brake. So that is going to go around there somewhere. And also there's an outer cable, back brake cable bracket which holds this kind of grommet thing. That needs to weld onto the frame. And finally the brake switch as well, but I'm going to leave that to last and make up a bracket for that. So this worked out really well. That's the switch which I've welded on a plate to the foot peg. So as you can see, as the back brake goes down, switch is operated. So everything's working well, except I don't like the angle of this because the brake pedals angle down quite a lot for the pegs. This should be more upright, and also the brake is going to hit the mudguard. So what I think I'm going to do is try and cut this here and angle it back and then weld on a new piece here. So that's the next job. But other than that, it's looking good. Now I never wanted to put on full leg shields on Oddbod. But single foot pegs I think are just going to be out of proportion for the big side panels and mudguard that I'm using. So my idea is to put like footboards, foot plates, I'm not sure what you call them, inspired by old motorbikes like Harley Davidsons, etc. But of course I'm trying to keep it all Lambretta. So looking through the model range, I thought what would be really cool is to fit LD rear footboards on. So I picked up a couple. They're not even matching, but I'm really loving the patina on these things. So now you'll realise why I fitted the 2 foot pegs. It is to accept these footboards. And I think they look really cool and they're going to be super comfy to ride on. Here's the 2 footboards in place. And best of all, it says Lambretta. And just while we're here, I can show you what I've done. The brake pedal, I cut it there and welded it so now it's upright. It's not going to hit the mudguard. And also I added a piece to where the cable clamp goes on, so that's upright now. So when it works, it's going to pull it properly. There's no tension on there at the moment. But really happy with all that. It's come together really well. And I'm loving the view from this angle. And now for something completely different. Hi Lily, welcome to Cobweb Garage. So tell me a bit about your scooter. How long have you had it?
So I had it like a year. I bought it from some guy, but I haven't ridden it loads. Well, I took it for its MOT, failed on the lights, so I bought a new bulb and that didn't help. Then I phoned all the garages and they were just not, they said they didn't work on this type of scooter.
So what we have here is a LML Vespa looking scooter. I don't know anything about them. It's a friend's scooter and the headlights aren't working. 2 mini electrics. Okay, I've run a new wire all the way through the frame from the front lights here to the back lights. So together again. I fixed it, the problem with the lights, when I've wired up the spotlights again. Lights, that's main beam I think, isn't it? Spotlights working. Thanks for watching this episode of Cobweb Garage. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram @Cobweb Garage, and hit the subscribe button. Cheers!